all answering this?
You're all answering.
Oh, I totally would have been thinking of something while she was talking.
Make something up. You're a writer.
Yeah, but I don't have my computer in front of me, and I don't have time to sit and think about it. Something spooky in relation to the fandom. There was this interview. Something spooky. Gosh. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is in college there was, I sort of ran the light board occasionally and would do directing stuff, and I was there late at night, and actually no, I was there during the day. It was daytime, but this is one of these black box theaters, and I had run a power cable out of the theater, and somehow I tripped a breaker, and it was just completely dark. It was sort of a kind of dark where you kind of go into the, like, it literally was like a black hole. I took a step into the theater and there was no light at all. It felt like it just kind of sucked out my ability to see. And I was so freaked out I couldn't go into the theater. Like I couldn't. I said, that's it for this weekend. See y'all on Monday. And I left. I don't know what it was. There was something about it was so dark and so terrifying that I just couldn't go in. So, not very exciting. That's me. I'm afraid of the dark.
I think maybe I'm too much of a hippie to think anything spooky that might make other people feel spooked out. I would just be like, oh.
That's like capitalism. Is that spooky?
Yes, it is.
Maybe I show that way.
Well, not recycling.
Yeah. Ooh. That scares me. Yeah, I would just think it's confirmation that we're not alone in the universe. Why get spooked out? Also, I avoid haunted houses. That scares me. So, one time my cat didn't come back for a while, and that spooked me.
I'm losing my children's stories, but that's not spooky.
Right. Well, I was just trying to find something here to work with.
I didn't actually lose my children. I thought I did.
We're done.
Hey.
I'm sure I have spooky things, I'm just not thinking of them, because this is a lot of pressure. But I was trying to go to spin class on my birthday. And there was a lizard on my dashboard. And that just scared me to pieces. And he lived in my car for a good week, and he kept scaring me. And it's not spooky, but it was really scary. And
We are the least interesting.
that's my story of Dashboard Lizard.
To be fair, spin class is terrible.
I was trying to think of something more spooky, more like ghosty. One time I was staying in an old house near the beach on the coast of Wales with my cousins. And my cousin Natalie, who was sleeping next to me, I thought she was having a nightmare, but she started screaming and pointing to the foot of the bed, saying there was someone with chains there, but she wasn't asleep. She was just like seeing something, and I couldn't see it, so it really spooked me. I don't know what it was, but she swears that there was a man with chains standing at the foot of the bed.
Yeah, I would call that proof we're not alone in the universe.
What did you want?
Spooky.
I think we kind of want to be alone in the universe if there's scary people with chains. I had a kind of weird thing that happened when I was a tween. We were waiting for my dad to come home from work. And,
He's a spin instructor.
He's a lizard.
So my mom and I were in the back room, my brothers were downstairs, and when he would come home, he'd yell and we'd all hitch up at the table for dinner. So we hear my dad call. He's like, I'm home, which is what your dad says when he comes home. And so we all came from our opposite places into the dining room, and my dad was not home. We had all heard him. Yeah, and then he came home like half an hour later and was totally oblivious to anything happening. Still to this day, he didn't play a joke on us.
Most people know I'm from Michigan, right? So my family's all into deer hunting. We loved to deer hunt when I was a kid. And so we went out in the dead of January, black powder season, and I got put in a blind by myself. And as the sun's going down, it just starts to snow. And there's 2 feet of snow on the ground. It just gets into dusk. Everything turns gray. And there isn't a sound in the forest, but snowflakes coming down. And you can hear your heartbeat. And you can see your breath. And you just look left and right, and there's not a sound in the forest, no birds, no rabbits, no nothing. And you're just sitting there going, what is about to come and get me? Because we've all seen this movie. Right? We've all seen this movie. It's like, something behind it. But yeah, it was spooky.
Well, mine happened a couple of years ago, and it was on DA, and I had somebody noted me asking me to just give them a plush, which happens from time to time. And I noted them back, and I told them I don't just give them away, but I do take commissions, and accepted a raffle. So they noted me back, and they said, well, if you don't give me one, I know where you live, and I'm going to come get it. Oh. Okay.
First, I just want to apologize. Really, really sorry. Your work is just so good.
Well, I just started a job on Friday at a new studio. And sincerely, thank you. And I opened the fridge, and they have a Brita water thing in there that is haunted. It has been haunted by the ghost of its former filter for years. There's no filter in there, and yet you drink that water. And also, I see dead people.
I don't know if I can beat the lizard story. I was at a wedding once, and spooky is what, it was really, it had a really sinister vibe. I can't really put my finger on why. But I couldn't see, I couldn't see the front. It felt like a dream, and then the crowd parted, and it was Flash Sentry and Twilight.
You're a
Too soon?
bad person. Bad man. This is for anyone who wants to take a shot at it, but I think the writers especially. Describe the entire series plot in exactly 6 words. Well, you've got friendship is actually no, hold on, My Little Pony friendship is magic. There we go, there he is.
Or, yeah, friendship is magic, no, I'm serious.
This is a question for our VAs. It was a question for the VAs.
What is your question?
I don't know. Oh, here it is. As a voice actor, how do you find the voice for a character? How do you create that personality? It's kind of a large question, and we'll probably get into it a little bit more during the VA panel later tonight, which you should all attend, but...
Oh, is there another one? Oh, okay. Well, I'll make it brief. If it's a very high-pitched character, I squeeze my bum really hard. And your lower, more villainous characters, I think about Mitchell. And you're sort of, I don't know, young, itty-bitty characters, I think about Bugs. And, but I think about Bugs often anyway. How are you, Britt?
I was actually going to say Tabitha would be the one to answer this question. She's so talented. She has so many different characters and personalities and voices, and I just have a couple that I I tend to do well with the baby voices. I've always been a fan of the baby voices, and the princess voices. That's all I got. That's what I love to do. So I don't really go out for much else. But Tabitha probably goes out for a lot more than I do. Very talented.
Thank you. Sorry about our answers. They're not. It's kind of long. It's kind of a big question. But.
This is a follow-up from Britt. What part about the role of Cadence did you enjoy the most in voicing and bringing that character to life?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
What part about the role of Cadence did you enjoy the most?
The role of Cadence, I think, actually because I didn't really play very many princess roles before Cadence. So I think that was very special for me because I was very used to doing the baby, younger voices, and so that was special for me. And I think getting to sing was the cherry on top of it all. I don't get to do that very often in voice work. You'd think, but I don't. So that was really special for me. It was very much an honor to get to put my singing voice on the character. So I was very lucky.
Mitch got scared of you all and ran away. No, he'll be back. This is a question for everyone. At what point did you become aware of the unintended demographic fandom that had emerged over this for this show, and what was your first reaction? So in other words, when did you first become aware of bronies, and what was your reaction? And we'll go in any order we like, instead of up and down the line. Whoever wants to take this, go ahead and take it. Or I'll pick on you. In fact, no, sorry GM, we just made eye contact, so you get to answer that one first.
I was already working on my first book, the Twilight Sparkle book, and then I went into my publisher's office one day and to sort out something with a contract, and a friend of mine there was asking me about the bronies, and I was like, what? What are the bronies? And she was like, oh my gosh, you've already gotten involved in this and you don't know about the bronies. She had this really thick southern accent. She was like, girl, you don't know about the bronies. Yeah, that was how she said it. And I was like, what? So we stood at her computer and Googled it, and I was just like, whoa, okay, that's cool. And then I went to BronyCon in New Jersey for one day, and I just sort of stealthily walked around and observed and talked to people, and and I actually met Peter New backstage, and he was really serious with me about it. He was like, oh wow, okay, you got a big task ahead of you, and you gotta take this really seriously. And I was like, okay, all right. So that's when I found out.
Amy?
Oh, nuts.
Shouldn't make eye contact.
I know, I tried to look away really fast. I first found out about the bronies when I was writing the last roundup. Well, that's when I found out. So I was writing the last roundup, and I was writing the infamous scene between Rainbow Dash and Derpy. To begin with. Her name was Ditsy Doo when I first wrote that scene. And then I got notes on the first draft, and Lauren said, hey, can you change Ditsy Doo's name to Derpy, because we have this fan base that's calling her Derpy. And I said, yeah, sure, I'm cool with changing her name. So her name became actually Derpy Doo in my script, because I didn't know any better. So if you were to look at my script, that's what it says. And what was my reaction? People ask me, oh, were you surprised that you had a male fan base? The answer is no, I was not, because I had worked on the Powerpuff Girls. And we had an adult male fan base on that show, and it was not ginormous like this, but but the internet wasn't what it is now. But I had interaction with the fans, the male fans, on that show as well. So I wasn't stunned. I eventually became more stunned. Became stunned. But so that was when I first learned about the fandom.
We have a question here from Bob Carr, or it might not be from Bob Carr, but Bob Carr would like me to ask it. And this is for the parents on the panel. Don't Twilight's parents have to be the smuggest ponies in Equestria? oh, your colt made the honour roll. We'll have to tell our son, the prince, and our daughter, who ascended to Alicornhood. He's got a point, but parents' responses?
And now they have Flash Sentry as a son-in-law. What could be better? The answer is yes.
That is really a yes or no question, isn't it? It's hard to sort of say no to that. They have a lot to be smug about.
But what about the parents of Celestia and Luna? That's a little bit better.
Moving right along.
I stumped them.
Moving right along. For the writers and the VAs, actually no, I want this for, yeah, actually no, okay, for the writers and VAs, sorry community guests, if you didn't work on TV, what would you want to do?
I would like to be a medical doctor with no training at all.
You mean Doogie Howser?
It hurts where? Like here? There? What's this? Cough. Nothing. that was all I had.
I'd want to be an X Games athlete. I'd want to surf and snowboard and I don't know.
Break your neck?
Yeah, play volleyball, play beach volleyball first. Somewhere sandy and warm, just sitting. That's what I want.
I would want to work with animals somewhere. I love animals. I don't want to say a zookeeper, but you know, just something maybe like a rehabilitation center.
I think we just found our future business, Jillian, because that's what I would do too.
We're opening an animal rehabilitation center later.
Well, I was gonna say if it could be a made-up job, I would like to read animals' minds and look Dr. Dolittle.
I didn't know we could make stuff.
Well,
Natasha's
okay,
a pet psychic.
yeah, I kind of am already. So I'll be the pet psychic at your animal rehabilitation.
This is gonna be amazing.
This is awesome.
And then Tabitha can be like the doctor.
That's your fur clump there. Yeah, you wanna get razor blades and valor, and that ought to set you right off.
I really want to be Tabitha's medical assistant.
I could read the minds to know what was really happening, but I wouldn't want to stop that. So that's just let it happen.
Do you know what? A quick story. I had a dog named Kitty, and she was very, very nervous. And at Halloween in Vancouver, they set off firecrackers. Fireworks. That's awful for dogs. And so someone set off a firework right in front of her, and she never went outside again. She'd shake and be nervous. So I actually called the pet psychic.
That's nothing to laugh at.
I know.
You don't have to be ashamed of
No,
that.
I know, and it's your career, and I'm not laughing at you. I never would.
Okay.
But so the pet psychic, but every day when I would walk her, I'd sing to her, everybody loves my dog, she feels great in this place, and every other place, everyone that she meets thinks she's great, oh, everybody loves my dog. And I'd sing her positive affirmations. And the first thing that the psychic said to me was, stop singing to your dog. You're making her nervous, because she thinks you're not paying attention. attention to the outside. It makes it have to be more alert. So if you want to help your dog, stop singing.
See, they know what's up. They're real.
Yeah, valid observation.
I'm going to ask this question. Unless any other people want to chime in on that last? No? Hoping that I won't call on you? Is this school flashbacks? Okay, I'm going to ask this question and give you time to think about it. And yes, what lessons about friendship have you learned while working on the show? It's a very good question. And while they're considering it, we have some people who came in late. So could we go ahead and distribute those note cards again if people have follow-up questions or new questions? Where are my wonderful volunteers? Excellent. Round of applause for the volunteers. So they will be distributing note cards on which you can write your questions. They will bring them up to me, and if we are able, we will ask them. So when you've written your question, just wave it in the air. Also, some of these questions we may not get to now, but we will get to them in the individual panels, since we have a VA panel later today, and then tomorrow, the writer panel, I believe. So, back to the question, which was, what lessons about friendship have you learned while working on the show? Mitch, we'll start with you.
I hope it's not really cheesy and tacky to like pick one of the ones from one of my episodes that I wrote.
Oh, fine. That's the best you can do.
It is, but
I don't watch the show, so there's
It's more narcissistic than anything, but okay.
It's narcissistic? That's cool. I'm alright with that.
Okay.
The Cutie Mark Chronicles, where it's the cheesiest, most disgusting, really sugary moral where Twilight says you look out the window and we're all looking at the same moon or whatever it is. I really like that idea. That even if you're feeling alone, and I'm being totally serious right now, you guys. If you're totally alone, you just never know that your friend might be out there looking at the same thing. There's
like
something comforting.
Full-on Tyval, American Tale, somewhere out there thing.
Did I steal that?
I think you did. Pretty much.
Thanks, Josh.
Somewhere out there.
I thought I came up
beneath
with
the pale moonlight.
Someone's thinking of me and love.
Okay, fine. Watch American Tale, I guess.
Even a cartoon. Not like you stole it from some other thing. Stole it from another
Yeah, but that was
cartoon.
mice. That's totally different.
I'm going to let this question go because I'm a cartoon and cartoons never learn.
We can work on the show.
Well, if you'd like to answer, you can say what lessons about friendship you've learned from being part of the community. If you wish. Or we can skip you and go back to the staff, it's fine. Come on, Dust.
I think the thing that I learned the most, is that if you're kind to other people, 99.5% of the time they'll be kind back. So just be kind, because if you go out and try to put up a shield of anger, that's all you're going to get back. So drop your shields, be kind, and the people that you want to be in your life will come to you.
I have learned that this is the most generous fandom I've ever seen. And through my charity work with the food bank, I just put out a note on DA telling people that I needed donations for our local food bank, and the response was overwhelming. And I gave away a few ponies for that charity auction.